All right. Good evening, everyone. Yep. So we are live again. So if you are here, you can hear me. Just type in a hi. Yep. So while waiting the rest of the people streaming in, so just take this moment, 1 or 2 minutes, just settle down, and then we'll go on live very soon. And let me just switch on the live as well to see whether things are moving all right here. Okay. Hi, Chinese tea ice. Iced tea, is it? Yeah. All right. So let me just see. All right. Yep. So I guess things are all live right now. So just take a moment of two, and then if you need to set up your place, just feel free to set up your place. All right. So tonight I have a few cameras setting up, support by Under Armour. Yeah, I hope so. Yep. All right. So yeah, this is the only cap left that I have at home. So there's a few cap that I wear to different places, and I often leave or forgotten to take back my cap. All right. So tonight we have Hui Kwang, you have Ice Tea, we have Kun Kun. So if you are in the group, help me just to remind the rest of the people that we are having live right now. Send in the link, and then we'll do this very shortly. All right. Okay, let me just type live now. Okay, let me just post the link. All right, so I believe there are other classes running at the same time. I believe because from the numbers, somewhat could see there's a feeling lah. There's a class run somewhere else, but it's fine. All the live sessions will be recorded and then will be cut into short snippets, so it will be on our YouTube channel. So feel free to go back to the YouTube channels, watch it again. You'll be so-called edited and will be cut in a more concise manner, in a faster pace. Thanks to Jiaxuan. So Jiaxuan is the one doing all the so-called cut, doing all the editing at the back. So shout out to Jiaxuan. Thanks Jiaxuan for doing all that. And thanks Jiaxuan for sharing the sessions last week. So he shared about NVIDIA versus Alibaba. While NVIDIA is the forerunner in chip manufacturing, chip design. Not manufacturing, chip design. And then from the Blackwell, from the H200 chips that got some feedback from Chinese government. So there's a lot of so-called like controversies. That a lot of like talks about Nvidia going to China, having some roadblocks and some issues. All are covered last week by Jiaxuan. All right, hi Scott Drake. Hello, what are we having today? So tonight, we will start off with talking about the 1 trillion package that's proposed to the board for Elon Musk, and then we also talk about a lot of news that being covered for the last 1 or 2 weeks, and then I'll bring up some of the news. For example, Google Chrome. Right now, Google don't need to sell Chrome, but they need to pay a fine. So we'll talk about that tonight as well. And then like gold price from right now 3.6K, if I'm not wrong, to shoot to 5K. Because of the regardless whether is it interest rate or is it the market uncertainty, or maybe highly likely you might go into recessions. So there's a lot of talks around. Let's dive into that as well. Okay, so yeah, thanks, Scott. All right, so let me just like ping another few groups that the sessions that we'll be running live tonight. Okay, so let me just like ping the few groups. All right, and then we'll like live very shortly. Okay. All right. So while waiting, you guys can also share with your friends. Just ping your friends. So whoever groups friends that you find, they are right now very free, yeah, or they might be uh petting their kids to sleep. For example, they would like to have some audio, some video to watch. Just send to them. All right. Tonight, new iPhone. Very likely. I don't know. So I just chatting with Jiaxuan today. In the day, I said, wow, I might not be buying the new iPhone, the latest iPhone. Right now, I'm using iPhone 13, right? So I might not be buying that. Maybe Google Pixels would be the one that I go for next. I don't know. Let's see how iPhone 17 really revolutionary, groundbreaking, whatever. I don't think I'll use the full type of phone, but yeah. So let's see what Apple will be doing tonight. Is it tonight? Actually, I'm not sure. Yeah. All right. So forever who'll be watching, following, yeah, share with us. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. All right. Okay, right now time is 8:05. Let's start the proper sessions for tonight. So welcome everyone to join our weekly WealthPulse session on Tuesday, 8 p.m. Singapore time every week. So I'm the host for tonight. I'm Eric. I'll be sharing with you the latest market updates, the news that regarding to like company updates, the earnings calls, or even some interesting company announcement release. We will share it tonight with everyone. So why we are doing this? Very simple. We find investing is a tough journey alone. That's why I like to build a community. So thanks for you guys for joining us YouTube live. So if you can hit a like, subscribe to our channel, even give us some love right there, I'll very appreciate that. So remember to click like, subscribe, or even share with your friends and families. So throughout this journey, I find investing alone is very, very difficult, very, very tough. So having a community, do it together, is really to build up our investing confidence, and also subsequently the portfolio will be the results of what we do or what we build across the years. So I believe a lot of you have been following us. Thanks again for joining us, and continue to join us, even support us, share with friends and family. So without further ado, let us start for tonight proper. Okay, let me just share the screen. All right. Okay. Ah, what if I share another way? I think I should share in a tab format. Yeah, I think I should in this more format. All right. So yep. So you can see don't think I can adjust this anymore. But never mind. So you see the screen right here. So I always share my deck. So at some point of time, if I to share deck, I'll share the screen itself, or else I'll just speak through to the chat. And that's why I will need a lot of you giving some responses, giving some feedback through the chat, or even hitting some like, some love along the way. All right. Okay. So in the same time, I'll using like my app, my so-called just to make sure everything is like moving. Okay, can. All right. So tonight we were talking about Elon Musk. Not specifically Elon Musk, it's about the $1 trillion pay package that Elon might be possibly getting in his tenure as a CEO, as long as he meets certain criteria. All right. All right, not meta, meh? All right. Okay. So from beginning of the year to now, we have like shared with, like you guys with a lot of like market updates for companies from Nvidia, Google, TSMC. So all of these contents or all of these like sessions we have run together with you guys. So we are very grateful you guys together with this journey. Then throughout the journeys, you might have take some actions, you have make some benefit from it. So that is all your credit. And if you have like make some losses, it's also credit to you. But it's also important to understand why we invest in the company, and also eventually, if it's the loss-making company, we must have our next game plan. All right. So tonight or throughout the every Tuesday night, this is the things that we will do. Looking back into our companies, update from the rest of the companies, and how we can adjust our portfolio to build our multi-billion-dollar portfolio. Right now, it's not multi-million anymore. Right now, it's multi-billion because Elon Musk is getting $1 trillion package. So we are moving from million to billion. Hopefully, we'll go to the billion-dollar portfolio. All right. Okay. So last week we have Alibaba and Nvidia. So we talked about the so-called chip manufacturing or chip wars that are happening across US and China. So if you have missed out, you can always go to our YouTube channels and then get so-called the concise video that 𝐿𝐿 has updated. So remember, like, subscribe, and share our channels. All your supports is we are grateful for all your supports. All right. So this is our channels, GoodWhale Live Investing. So for all the so-called links that you share with your friends, really appreciate. Remember, have them to subscribe. All right. So to receive the latest so-called videos that I've edited, and also the live sessions that we'll be doing every Tuesday moving forward. All right. So just a quick update. So right now, market from green at last for this week itself, it has moved to neutral. All right. So for the longest time, we are in a grid mode for the last few months, and right now the markets have come back down to neutral. All right. So it doesn't mean it's a good or bad thing. Just means that market right now is in a more rational, so-called emotion. All right. Okay, so right now market is still at all-time high, but the fear and greed index have dropped down to 50-ish area. All right. So the week before, we have a few companies releasing so-called updates. We have like Salesforce, we have Lululemon. So Lululemon have a big hit right there, and then DocuSign, UiPath. So tonight we will talk a bit about so-called Salesforce. And this week itself, another few companies that coming up, Oracle. So Oracle have been riding the AI wave, and then they have been growing by leaps and bounds. I have covered for the session like I think it's like last month, last 2 months ago. So next month itself, maybe we'll look into Oracle news update. And for those Adobe investor out there, there's a lot of question about Adobe, their modes. So we'll look into the latest earnings if time's allowed for next week. All right. So first, $1 trillion package. All right, $1 trillion package. Just a quick so-called Q&A right here. How many zeros is in a trillion? How many zeros is in a trillion? Everyone just type in. Just type in. All right. When we talk about like millions, so in my era, we talk about million S. So it's like you have your thousand to million. So it's 6 zeros. And then lately there's a lot of billions air coming up. So we talk about 9 0. And right now we talk about $1 trillion. When I heard about like $1 trillion market cap, it just like happened not too far ago. It's like a year or two or so. Right now we are talking about $1 trillion pay package. Yep. So we have 12, like Louis, like Minjani say dozen, PR 9 is 12. All right. So Lily and Xiaoting, 12, just a number. All right. So when they have discussions with some of the friends or peers out there, so they say actually kids right now are much more sensitive and much more aware about so-called wealth, investing, and even numbers. Back then, we are just talking about millions. And when we talk about millions, right, we didn't even talk about like how many zeros right there. And right now, the kids even know what is like trillion, quadrillion, zillion. So right now, kids are very much aware of the numbers that is growing. But of course, tonight we are talking about Elon Musk $1 trillion package. And when I first heard about it, I said, how can it be? A company maybe 1 trillion, 8 trillion, like 1 trillion, 2 trillion, even 4 trillion. You are giving a CEO 1 trillion. In other words, if the company is 4 trillion worth, right, you are giving 25% of the company worth to a CEO. How can it be as a pay package? All right. So right now, for us as investor, if you have that question, just give me a question mark. Yeah. So likewise, when I heard about that topic, right, it's like, wow, impossible lah. How can it be? So let's deep dive into this. But before that, if you are a Tesla shareholder, this is a very serious question. Would you approve this $1 trillion pay package to your CEO? So repeat the question. So if you are Tesla's so-called shareholder, would you approve this $1 trillion package to your CEO? So right now it's Elon Musk. $1 trillion. All right. So without looking into what's the criteria, what's the fine line, what's the item, just by the numbers, just by the figures. Uh, So, so somebody like, yeah, my son told me quadrillion. Yeah, no. All right. Kun say yes. Okay. No, no. And then say yes, follow CEO hot to get. Okay. Means like you believe like CEO can create value by paying them more money. All right. Okay. Also makes sense. After 10 years, it's nothing. All right. Okay. So when I first heard about it, right, my first impression also say no. But let's look into the pay package. All right. So this is the pay package. When you look at the screen right here, right, it says 1 billion. Market cap at time of award is like, market cap is like 1 trillion. What is this? Wait. It's a $1 trillion package. Just ignore $1 trillion package. All right. And then you see, it's a 100% compensation at risk. Means what? All his pay is based on this package. In other words, Elon Musk actually not paying himself salary. So Elon Musk have not been receiving salary. If I'm not wrong, it's just $1, just symbolizations that he is receiving pay, but it's just $1. All his pay package is based on all this incentive. All right. So it's like he'll get close to $1 trillion of the award. All right. And there's some tranches. So the tranches is based on 500 billion tier. So every 500 billion, he will receive a so-called paycheck. All right. And then number of tranches, 12, means it cut down into 12 different tranches. So it's for every 500 billion. So from right now, 1 billion to 8.5 billion. So every 500 billion, you receive one tranche. All right. And there's a holding period for this. The holding period is 5 years. So once you get the tranche, you have to hold 5 years. All right. Yeah. And at the point of the peak, right, the last tranche is still 8.5 trillion. Yep. Okay. Yeah. So this, I guess everyone follow, right? In other words, pay package is tied to market capitalization. All right. Very largely. But is there anything that we should look at? All right. So right now, if you look at the Tesla market cap, right, it's close to 1 trillion, 1 plus trillion. So in order for it to reach 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 until 8 trillion within 5 or even 10 years, within 5 or even 10 years. So let's just take the most conservative one according to the table. Let's go according to 10 years because the pay package is a 10-year pay package. Let's look at this 10-year pay package. So if you can follow, right, everyone just type 10 stand for 10 years pay package. It's a 10-year pay package. Or you just give me some love, just hit love right there. From phone, right, I can very easily hit love. But I didn't see any love coming in. Never mind. All right. So it's a 10-year pay package. It adds up to 1 trillion. All right. Let's say the market cap hit 8.5 trillion at the end of 10 years. Your market cap CAGR is at 23% per year. Your market cap CAGR is 23% per year. Imagine you buy this share $1. It becomes 8.5 at the end of 10 years. You are getting a CAGR of 23%. Hey, as an investor, just by the numbers, 23% CAGR per year. Hey, does it sounds good? If you like this, just type in a yes. just by market cap, just by market cap. All right. Even if you just hit half of it, means 4 trillion. It is also close to 14%. Not too bad, right? And what if it shortened half of the time to 5 years, not 10 years? Your CAGR is 34%. All right. So this is just hypothetical number based on market cap. All right. Based on market cap. All right. Okay. So right now, initially, people who type no, right now, do you have different thoughts paying your CEO $1 trillion package? Yep. So the criteria is one of the criteria is the market cap got to grow to 2, 3, 4, 5, even 8. All right. Okay. So when I look at this, I have second thought. All right. Why not just go further to it? Just further to it. So the $1 trillion package is very complex. Means other than hitting market cap, you need to hit a few criteria. Right. So one of it is 20 million Tesla vehicle delivered. Then 50 billion adjusted EBITDA, 1 million for AI bots, 10 million for FSD subscription, 1 million robo-taxi in operation. So right now, the pay package is more stringent, not just market cap. You must hit some of the matrices right here. Your EBITDA, your Tesla deliver, your FSD subscription, your robo-taxi. So with all the tier, you get 1% share of each tier, add up to 12% share. All right. Okay. Which of the following are we or have you achieved? Very good question. All these, right? All these matrices right here. Yeah. Obviously, right now it has 1 trillion market cap. All of this is not hit. All right. So obviously, you need to bring up the market cap. Next is to bring up the operations milestone. So after I check, right? So right now, according to market cap, is around 1 trillion. Around 1 trillion. All right. So 20 million vehicle deliver, right? Right now is only up to 8 million. So to hit that so-called 1%, you need to sell another 12 million EV. 12 million EV. So there's a target to hit. All right. In terms of like EBITDA, right? It's like if I'm not wrong, every 50 billion. So 50, 50, 50, 50, and then it hit up to 400 billion EBITDA. All right. So there's a milestone. 400 billion is the cap. The max he need to reach lah. All right. And then robo taxi. All right. So this one no deployment yet. Subscription FSD no subscription yet. And then so if that all in all he can reach everything right, he can get the 12%. And with the 12% shares, we will talk about the valuation in a short while. All right. So here, pay package tied to market cap and pay package tied to operation. Okay. All right. Yeah. So this is the market cap. And then right now, Elon Musk owning 20% share. All right. Let me just see anything else I should show right here. So let's come to this. So with clear operations milestones some more, and you look at it, hey, actually the milestone is quite big, hairy, audacious goal. Means like 10 million humanoid. Never even sell yet, you set 10 million. Your FSD, all right, subscription, haven't even start yet, you need like 1 million. All right. So these are all the criteria the board proposed. All right, the board proposed. So what does it mean? What does it mean for shareholder? All right, what does it mean for shareholder? Everyone, what does it mean for shareholder? Why do you think they do this? Why do you think they do this? All right. Obviously, there's a few reasons that the board proposed this. First, how many of you know Elon Musk have not been focusing on Tesla for a certain period of time. From him, so-called joining Trump in Dodge to cut down all the unnecessary spending in government. Then he has some clash with Trump and even sound that he might start a political party. And even before that, so he has like SpaceX. He's so involved in Twitter right now, X.com, and go into XAI to Grok. So if you're a Tesla shareholder, there's some limitation or some limit you allow your CEO to go explore his interest, right? As long as Tesla is doing well, you don't mind he do that. But lately, Tesla shares or even the business are not doing as well. All right. So that's why this pay package first is to pull back attention for Elon Musk back to Tesla as a CEO. All right. Okay. Next. All right. So this pay package is a 10-year pay package. And then for the pay package, right, his so-called vested holding period for the share is 5 years. In other words, even if he reached the goal early, he's need to stay on for 5 years. So let's say he hit by the year 5, he need to stay until 10 years. So let's say he hit until the 10 year, he need to stay on the 5 year. Means it at least so-called get Elon Musk focus in Tesla for the next 10 or even 5 to 10 years at least. Or 10, actually it's 10 to 15 years, but at least 5 years moving forward. Because if he didn't stay on for the 5 years, all the shares will be forfeited. All right, so this is so-called the restriction or the condition that's set by the board itself. All right, okay, yeah. So all in all, when we look at this, right, you say, hey, sounds like right, makes sense, right, for shareholder. But does it make sense for Elon Musk? Does it make sense for Elon Musk? Okay, let's look at the tier lah. Look at the tier. All right. Okay. So hypothetically, right? Let's say we just look at the so-called 6 billion outstanding shares right now, right? He get 12%, right? So roughly like 60 million shares right here. 60 million share. So we just assume, right, the 60 million share he get like 60 million, 60 million, 60 million, 60 million for the next so-called 10 years. So the cumulative, right, is actually roughly 500-600 billion. But of course, if the share price went higher, right, actually the pay would be much more higher. So hypothetically, so the shares is based on percentage of the market cap. All right. So let's say the market cap went up, right? Actually, the pay package went up to trillion. But nevertheless, this is a very massive pay package with 60 million, and based on the market cap it reached, right, it will have at least 6 to 700 billion so-called worth of shares being granted to him. All right, based on 60 million shares every year. All right. So all in all, Musk will get roughly at least if he hit all the target, right, 600 to 700 billion pay package. All right. Uh, just to remind you guys, 600 to 700 billion pay package, right, is all stock-based compensation. He doesn't receive any salary, right? Doesn't receive any salary. So if you just averagely 1 trillion, 10 years, it's actually considered 100 million per year. So 100 million per year pay package, right? A lot of right now, the Max 7 CEO, right, is receiving 100 million already, right? So they are a mixture of salary and also bonus. So come back to the last question. All right. Is the 100 billion pay package worthwhile right now? Everyone just type in a conclusion. Do you think it's good or a no-go if you are the shareholder? Yeah. All right. Okay. So conclusion say yes. All right. So I hope by deciphering the pay package, look into fine line, you are not so swayed by the sensational $1 trillion pay package. So I don't know whether or not there's any Tesla shareholder right there. So if you receive this news, maybe you should consider to look into this. And for this pay package, right, you still so-called bring into shareholder approval in a standard sense. Shareholder need to approve this pay package. So shareholders will need to vote in November, if I'm not wrong. In November, there's some motions that will bring by the board, and then shareholder will need to vote this pay package. So if you are a shareholder, yeah, make sure you vote wisely, I would say. Vote wisely. All right. But if you have followed the Elon Musk for quite some time, actually, the last pay that Elon Musk should have received is not received yet. So the last pay, 56 billion pay package, is not received yet. So some of the shareholders have already so-called raised in a sense that should not pay this 56 billion because it's not clear on what conditions it's met. It's only based on market cap. So right now the 56 billion is still on hold. It's not paid to the shareholder yet. All right. Oh, not shareholder. It's not paid to Musk yet. So I go find out through Google and stuff, or even all the LLM. Elon Musk haven't really responded to this proposal yet. Actually, I want to understand how Elon Musk look at this proposal. Does he think it's fair for him to switch or shift his focus back to just Tesla? Because all the while he has been very so-called innovative, so-called innovate a lot of different stuff, bring a lot of so-called imagination or things around the so-called world. For example, there's this thing called loop, right? I can't remember the real name so it's to cut down the traveling time. So there's a lot of things being brought up. All right. And would you think this pay package, Elon Musk will really seriously look into it and then shift all his focus back to Tesla? Yeah, I'm not so sure. But looking at things that he does, right? So SpaceX also invested some $1 billion into support 𝐾𝐶, right? Yeah, actually, it's not invest in the business, it's buy some spectrum from this 𝐾𝐶. Yeah, so SpaceX. Yeah. So do you think he will shift 100% focus? I'm not so sure. But hopefully, with this pay package, he will put more time, put more effort, put more focus back to um, Tesla. All right. So this is the conclusion of Tesla pay package to Elon Musk. All right. So all this so-called sharing or the updates after the end of the sessions, we will cut down into snippets, make it very concise, and then upload to our YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe it, you like it, and even share your comment in the chat, share in the comment section itself, right? So we have been uploading the videos, and thanks for all you guys watching it. So if you have watched it, remember to like, subscribe, and share. All right. So so next go to the second segment. So we have spent like roughly 20 minutes for the first segment. We talked about Tesla, the biggest topic up there. So right now, let's go into the second segment. So today's second segment, we will look into the goal, which is the September rate adjustment. So what are the signs that we can look into it, whether or not September would the Fed rate would decrease or not. So would there be a September Fed rate adjustment? Yes or no, Aaron type. Would there be a September Fed rate adjustment? We have been talking about this topic again and again since beginning of the year. So whenever there's like a Fed meeting, we'll talk about it. And then there's a lot of things that we have shared so-called previously on where are we looking at, what are the so-called early signal, early signs, what are the obvious signs that we follow. And then tonight we'll revise it again. All right. Just increase to fight Trump and inflation. Very interesting. But nevertheless, let's look at this. So one of the big things that being brought up, I think 𝐸𝐻𝐿 or like Rupert in another group, they did talk about like gold price. So gold price have been shooting higher and higher. The obvious reason is gold is being seen as a safe haven assets. All right. So whenever there's market so-called jittery, whenever there's like market downturn or whatever, people will shift their assets to the safe haven asset, which is gold. And right now, gold is hitting like 3.6K if I'm not wrong. And there's like analysts being brought up, the so-called the gold price will be possibly reaching 5,000. All right. Yeah, it will be reaching higher and higher. I don't know. So one of the things that are being shared by analysts is this lah. Right? I think if I'm not wrong, it is Goldman Sachs analyst. So Goldman Sachs analysts say that should investor diversify into gold, they see potential of gold going above 4,000. So right now 306, right? 4,000 means another like close to 10% or in a double digit percentage. So if you believe in diversification and you believe in gold, this might be the things that you'll be looking at, right? Even JP Morgans are looking at like 4,250 by the end of 2026. So this is what all the analysts say. And actually, in actual fact, right, gold is not the only commodities price that went up. So precious metal, like for example, like if silver is also went up. All right. So this the effect, so-called effect, is based on the market emotion and also what the Fed have done. All right, or even our Mr. President have done. So there's a lot of market inconfidence that resulted gold price or the gold price went up. All right. Okay. And one of the actions that done very recently, other than firing away the one of the statistic so-called chief lah, and right now he is firing another so-called head Fed governor. Her name is Lisa Cook. Right. So this is another things that he raised up, and then he want to fire him, fire her lah. All right. So this is the thing Donald Trump do, and then the market not quite happy with it. So one of the persons that are not quite happy with it, which is the Citadel CEO. So his name is Ken Griffin. So he said the Trump is playing a very risky game with Fed. And then what's more than that is right now, Trump also raised or so-called confirmed the candidate of Fed chair after what is his name? What's the current Fed chair name? Uh, is it Ben Bernanke? No, it's not Ben Bernanke. Jerome Powell. So 2026, Jerome Powell stepped down. So he already raised another three candidates: Hassett, Walsh, and Waller. So his involvement in the Fed is a bit too much lah. So that's why market doesn't like it. And then what Ken Griffin have raised is this. So preserving credibility is essential because it benefits all American by keeping the cost of borrowing low and then support sustainably grow. All right. And maintain global confidence in US. So once lost, it's costly and take times to build up the confidence. So this is what Ken Griffins have raised, and then he doesn't feel good about Trump actions right here. And another thing is this: other than like gold price, Trump, there's these things that we also need to look at, which is the non-farm payroll, job creation. So last week itself, job creations is less than like 30,000. It's like 29,000. All right. So it's the job market have been softened. And what things make even worse is they have adjusted the June number. So June number previously is like positive job creation. Right now is negative. In other words, it's like job shrinking. So this is another sign that market is not doing well because there's no job creation. All right. So the reduction or reduce or job creation increase the unemployment rate. So unemployment rate right now is sitting at 4.3%. 4.3%. All right. So it's quite high. And not forgetting, in order for Fed to reduce the interest rate, inflation rate have to be low or maintained. Right. So now right now the inflation rate is at 2.7%. All right. So the ID rate is 2%. Right now is 2.7%. All right. So September, so yeah, 11 September 911 is one of the important day for this week itself that investors should follow. And hopefully this CPI at least maintain. Yeah. Or even possibly go lower. So if the strip go according to what a reduction of rate should be, is like unemployment rate went high a bit, means need job creation, inflation is low, means market is not hit up, and then that's when Fed can consider rate reduction. All right. Okay. And actually, in actual fact, right? In actual fact, right? If you go to the Fed Market Watch, you know that actually, hey, my slide is not here. Actually, according to the prediction, right? Actually, market is looking at reduction for September, 100%. 100% prediction is going to reduce. So the matter is just reduce 25 basis point or 50 basis point. All right. So hopefully this will give you some idea on the interest rate reductions in the month of September. Most likely it will reduce. And hopefully by rate reduction, it will not be the worst month for the year itself. All right. So if you could follow, right, Aaron, just type in your opinion. 25 or 50 basis point. 25 or 50 basis point. Yeah. September curse strike again. Hopefully by rate reduction, we will not go there. Hopefully by rate reduction, we will not go there. Okay. All right. Okay, so just to share things that we learned, I learned in investor a wealth tech meetup in the afternoon at Play Mula and First Rate event itself. So in terms of like what they see wealth, right, for the high net worth or even wealth tech side, right. So other than financial capital, where what we have been discussing tonight about investing, personal finance, there's other segments of wealth we are looking at as well. For example, our cultural capital, our social capital, our intellectual capital, even spiritual, experiential material. So when we talk about investing, we are not just talking about, oh, how I invest my money. So you also must invest like, how are we invest in our experiential capital? Do we invest in our own personal growth? Do we invest in like learning how we can like make the world better? All right. So all of this define wealth, not just by financial. All right. So this is the study made, also the things that shared by Playmula CEO founder Audrey, and it bring me back to the thinking thought of what does money and wealth means to us in life, right? So I just quickly brought this thought, so for us to really to think through like for the next or for the remaining of the year, when we talk about like growing our wealth, hopefully we include all this to make our spiritual or even intellectual better. All right. So why I bring up this is because a lot of time when we talk about investing, right, we are not just looking at the investment target. We are looking at the industry itself. So understanding the industry, for example, when we look at chip industry, we might not be working in the chip industry or even not investing in it, but understanding the chip manufacturing sector, we can appreciate how much effort have the person put into growing the business. For example, if you understand how tough TSMC working environment, you appreciate that's the reason why the company can grow at that aspect, because 12 hours straight in a suit, no toilet, no break in between, you understand how tough the business is. All right. And from that, can they easily replicate throughout the world? Can they hire the same workforce at different places? You know that it's a bit tougher. That's why the role, the so-called the shift is very important at other countries. That's when bringing the cost go up. So as simple as that, you might not be investing in that, but understanding so-called have the intellectual, it will help you understand maybe some other business, like even software business or even B2B business, makes more sense for you to invest because you believe in that model. All right. So this is not to say that TSMC is good or no good, just to say that you have choice to invest in companies or areas that suits your value and suits your belief. We don't need to go to the same company, invest the same company. All right. For me, I'm not so-called investing guru. So right here, I'm sharing all the aspect or the things that I learned. But of course, if I invested in the company, I do more homework. That's when I understand a bit more of the company. So likewise, some of you guys would be much more proficient compared to me in understanding company. All right. So just to bring up this like 8 pillar of capital or 8 pillar of wealth, so that when we come to investing, we are not just looking at financial sense. We're looking at how financials can support maybe at other area and grow our wealth perspective as a whole. If you are good with it, everyone just give me some love, give me some light just to share that, hey, this is the 8 pillar of wealth when we come to investing. I hope this community, we are not just about money. We are maybe relationship. When we talk about our social capital, right? That's when I will be talking to you, meeting you. So in Singapore, in JB, I meet some of you. Even Mei Ling. So happened that he come to Sept's AGM and I was there, and then we have a meetup, a very brief meetup. I hope that I can meet you again. And of course, I already in discussion with my wife to arrange a KL trip. So Hui Kwang, I'll definitely look for you when the dates are firm. Very likely, I say very likely, beginning of December. I think it's first week of December. So we arranged one session, meetup session in KL. Anyone who like open to meetup, just text me. Just text me. You have my number. Just text me, right? And then we will arrange one meetup in KL. And then depends on the size, maybe 5 people or I don't know. Is there 10 people right there? So with that size, I will look for Hui Kwang and then we just arrange the place. Okay, right. So I'll say thank you to Hui Kwang first. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Oh, I didn't stop share screen just now. Never mind. Let's come back to this. All right. So actually, in the market, there's more news. I would like to go through one by one, but let's go through briefly, just some discussion on the news that I find very interesting. So first news. Oh, wow, the camera dropped. First news. OpenAI right now is challenging all front, not just challenging like the LM model or stuff like that. So right now they are challenging like to build up a LinkedIn. Right now is challenging Microsoft, their investor. They are building an AI job platform, challenges LinkedIn. And then they also said that they will launch their first chip, challenging NVIDIA. So right now, they are stepping a lot of people's foot. So very interesting. On OpenAI, going at every other front. All right. So this is the first thing. Second thing. All right. So I believe there isn't like Robinhood or App like because I never heard you guys talking. So Robinhood, Ed Loving have been joining S&P 500, even MCall Group. All right. So yeah. So just a quick news, quick updates. Robinhood at last joined the S&P 500. And good news for Google investor. Google investor, Chrome is not for sale anymore. They don't need to sell Chrome away. So Google can keep Chrome. But the problem is in EU, they are being slapped by 3.5 billion fine. All right. So I don't know whether how you see this 3.5 billion fine because they are making 350 billion every year. Paying 3.5 billion fine is 1%. But I raised this to Jiaxuan. Just say, 1% also money. I don't want to pay. But they are making like 350 billions. So yeah, being slapped by 3.5 billions. The very straightforward reason is because they are monopolized in search advertising. That's why if EU thought that it's like they are breaching the antitrust law. So that's why they have to slap them with 3.5 billion. I don't know how this 3.5 billion came from, but 350 billions of advertisements, like so-called revenue, they just slapped by 3.5. I don't know. Maybe it just scratched on the surface, but 3.5, still a sum of money. Like Justin said, it's still money. All right. But what I see right here, it doesn't affect me, right? Next, there's a dinner being held by Mr. Trump to all the tech leaders. All right. So he one by one asked lah. I don't know whether you guys watched the clip. He one by one asked. So how many money you are invest in US? How many money you are going to invest? So he asked from like Mark Zuckerberg to Apple CEO to every other people. And then actually, if you go to this video, right, go search lah. Tech CEO told President Trump, right. It's a very very um funny kind of setting and dinner lah. So every tech CEO from Google, from Apple, from Meta, even Microsoft, every CEO at the dinner is like saying, "You are a good president. Thanks for inviting us, listening to what we share, whatever, blah 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 blah." Very very interesting scene lah. I don't think anyone would like to be there, but if you have to be there, you need to be there. All right. So very interesting. This one is doesn't mean much in investing, but it's a very interesting video. I would like you guys to share or like you guys to go watch lah. And then there's this one person missing in this tech leader dinner. Guess who? Aaron, guess who? Guess who? Oh, 𝐻𝐿 already exposed. Elon Musk not in. Kum say Elon Musk not in. Yeah, yeah. When we come to tech leader, right? Elon Musk should be one of them lah, but he's not invited. Very interesting. Okay. What are the news that I share? Oh, yeah. So we talk about like IPO, right? So there are IPOs coming up. So even if like the last few sessions when we talk about IPO, right? So if you didn't get the share at IPO price, I would say don't need to rush into it. So this is what happened to Figma after the IPO craze dwindling down, right? So they 3 times market cap like in the first day from $30 become like $140, $150, and right now is back to $50. So don't need to rush into IPO. All right. So this is my learnings across the web, but this is my experience lah. I would say don't need to rush into IPO. If you miss it, it will come down sometime down the road to so-called valuations that seem more fair. All right. So yep. So the craze has went down. So right now Figma is like 50-ish. So compared to the debut of like or IPO price at 33, right? So right now it's at $55. All right. But this is not to say that it's good price to buy. Always go back to the business fundamental and also the business valuation, which is we are covering in the second part. All right. So Kraft Heinz got to split into two. It brought up to merger in 2015 by Warren Buffett, and then it got to ASML invest into Mistral. Yep. So if you are ASML investor, we will talk about it in their next earning call, because Mistral AI investment is a symbolic action they go into software. It's a symbol action they go into software. So they don't want to just stay as a hardware component company. So hopefully by this, they will build another giant in Europe. Yeah. So you will not just be like OpenAI, you will not just be like just Llama, or is even if it's just CUDA. So hopefully there's another software, AI software that is born in Europe. So Mistral AI is a French company. Yeah. So we will talk about it in the next like earnings. All right. So in the next segments, we will talk about like company update. So this segment from the next 20 minutes onwards, right? Actually, most of the time we will keep within private community. But tonight we will just break it into two lah. So we will talk about Salesforce first in this segment, and then the last segment we will go to Zoom. So whoever who are in our Zoom or whoever in our WealthPulse community, not to worry, we will talk about CrowdStrike definitely in a private community inside Zoom itself. But why I so-called talk about Salesforce, because Salesforce is a more understand company. I've been talking about it again and again. And then for those who follow me long enough, I will know that I'm an ex so-called Salesforce investor. And then I'll share with you my thinking thought and also why I invest and why I look into it right now. But we'll go into the figures in a short while. But nevertheless, all our so-called company specific or company sharing, right? We'll share within a closed community with a very simple reason, because for people who have not gone through so-called our syllabus, our so-called investing courses, you will not understand why we are looking at this certain area, and you will not have a conclusive view why I just raised this pointer. Because in our investing flow, we look at the company business model, their company numbers, their business management, their future growth, and the risk area. So some of the times when I share this on this 10 minutes, right, I just able to cover a very short segment. So it's not a conclusive view of what I look at the company. But for those who understand and follow long enough, you'll understand where I'm coming from. All right. So for those who don't, maybe this is some feeling or some of the likes that I've shared here right now in terms of Salesforce. And then if you like to look further, you can always join our WealthPulse. All right. So WealthPulse is a monthly subscription thing. After you subscribe, right, you can go watch our previous video to get what I've been sharing throughout the year, and also how are we looking at companies and what are the things that we look at before we invest in the company. If you are good with it, everyone just type in WP, stand for WealthPulse. All right, so this is the private committee that we built together with 𝐃𝐨𝐵 from our previous to now. And right now, I'm driving this WealthPulse. So thanks for you guys joining us on this session. All right, let's go into Salesforce. All right, so usually I'll go through like business like their growth, how they have been growing throughout the years, what is their current numbers, and what is their future numbers, and how they have been like keeping their pace on their product or even management change. So there's a lot of things that I'll be looking into. But tonight specifically, we will just look at Salesforce recent earnings call, right? So they shared like big numbers lah. So in this quarter itself, they make 10 billions, and then in terms of margins, they are looking at 34%, right? And then just highlighting this like data cloud and ARR for their AI segment, which is like 1.2 billion, which is grow 120%. So what does this 120% means? And then what does this 1.2 billion means? Later I'll share you in much more in depth, all right? But Salesforce, they are sales-oriented company. They like to flash logo. They like to flash how they have been working with the community, how they have been working with the ecosystem. So they always bring different brand names right here just to show that how have they building their ecosystem with their clients. All right. So for those who have followed, you know that this is what they do. But does it mean that they are doing better and better? They are growing faster as a strong company. We still need to look at numbers. All right. So let's dive into numbers. All right. So revenue is 10 billion. And if you look at their revenue growth year on year, right, it's roughly just 9%. It's single digit, not fantastic. But if you look at their RPO, right, sitting at 30 billion. So it means they will be so-called remaining performing obligations, means like in another better word is like they have signed contract lah, but haven't delivered yet. So they have 30 billion order waiting in the pipeline to deliver, right? So they have been building this pipeline, is growing at in a 10% so-called every year. All right, and one of the major numbers. So you look at their sales segment. Sales is their first product, and then they go into service product. They go into other platform marketing and so-called data analytics. So one of the segments that I would like to drive your attention is this, which is platform and others, which is growing at 16%. Quite good, 16%. So in these segments, it include Tableau, or not Tableau, it includes Slack. All right, it includes Slack. All right. So this is a very important segment in their AI or data cloud growth. All right. So this, even though this is data cloud and then AI component. All right. So let's dive into this number. All right. So if you look at their total subscription revenue, right, it has been going down 13%, 10%, 9. If you look at this number, you are so-called not so convincing. Just type in a 9. I will say not say no good. Actually 9% growth is still not too bad. Einstein Copilot, yeah. They put it as they didn't raise as much like Einstein anymore. They just generally say this is AI. They are building into Slack, all right. So they downplay the word Einstein Copilot quite a bit. Yeah. All right. Safe haven mode on. All right. So it's like 9%, not impressive. Very like really not impressive. Right. And then it's been going down since quarter one. And right now, quarter one 25 and around quarter one 26, right? And they just report quarter one 26, right? But if you look at the platform and other, which is Slack and their data cloud, right? Agentforce and data cloud, which included here, right? You see that actually the numbers pick up from Q4 25 to 12%, 14%, and 16%. All right. But the rest of the segment is not doing well. All right. The rest of the segment is not, it's not to say not doing well, it's not growing as fast. The rate is going down. All right. So they are relying this uh, AI agents or Agentforce and data cloud to hold on their 9% growth. Yeah. Mm. So they have been holding on a 9% growth by having Agentforce to grow faster. So first thing, what I see right here is at last Slack is performing what he need to do, right? So they have so-called acquired Slack, right? If I'm not wrong, it's before COVID. I can't remember. I think it's before COVID. Quite some years already lah. And then Slack has not been integrating very fully into their business ecosystem. Only until AI come into picture, and AI serve as like a media or the channel for company efficiency. That's where they come with Agentforce that tie in very deeply into Slack. All right. So they have relied very deeply into Slack to build across the Agentforce or to deliver the Agentforce kind of product suite. All right. And then this Agentforce cannot work well without data. All right. So they tie together with data, their data platform. All right. And then one of the things that Salesforce bring up, one of the things that Salesforce bring up right here is this. Yes, AI is there, but it's not 100% foolproof. Agents need to be a guide or assistant to the human. The AI agents need to be the guide and assistant to human to deliver the best service to the end client. All right. So if you recall the last week, right, we did talk about 95% of AI investment, right, is not materialized. Only the 5% who integrate with their back office, right, or the operations, right, are the ones that is giving result. So I guess this is what Salesforce is banging on. So not just what the sales agent, more of like the back office, the back operations that integrate with AI agents that would benefit the most in this specific AI implementation. All right. So that's the 5%. All right. So all in all, I look into valuations. All in all, the 9% growth, they just maintain. And with this data cloud and agent force, right, even though it's growing, right, it doesn't move the overall revenue neither, right? I even asked, hey, is there any likes that they show in this so-called, do they predict some numbers, some target, right? I haven't found this number yet. So if I found this number, I'll share inside our WhatsApp group and community. So if you have not joined our WhatsApp group, just drop me a text and then I will let you know how to join the WhatsApp group. Right? So this is how, when I talk about investment, right, we will look into certain figures. So all in all, if you are a Salesforce investor or you are looking into Salesforce, would you like this 30, 35 stable margin and then you invest into it, or you wait until the growth re-accelerate? All right. So for me, I like to look at growth re-accelerate, then I invest. All right. If not, this is a bit tough. All right, because their other segment are not maintaining, are shrinking. Okay. Yep. So this is my view on Salesforce. So need to prove that their growth can re-accelerate. Of course, lah, when the growth re-accelerate, there's some premium to come in, but it will serve as a confidence to invest, lah. All right. So come back to the last question, which is, would you wait or would you invest? This one, decide on your view and the angle to invest in this company, whether the margins is sufficient for you or you like to look at their growth rate accelerate. Okay, so this will conclude Salesforce. All right, and then if you like to go into the next segment, yep. So this is our join dash WealthPulse. All right, so just click on this link or just go on this link, click.goodwill.com/join WP to join our private community. There will be a 1 month so-called complimentary for you guys, and after the 1 month, you're just paying like 39 or 13.49 per month Sing dollars or 990 US dollar per month for at least 4 sessions per month. All right, it's equate to be 250, or if you there's a 5 week in the month is $2 per session. All right, and then you're able to receive from beginning to now, and then the next segment we will talk about CrowdStrike. So every month, every sessions, we will talk about market updates, some key figures, key companies updates, and then some key insights or key investments that we look into. All right. So this is our YouTube WealthPulse Live. So thanks everyone for tuning in this, and then we'll go into our Zoom WealthPulse. All right. So for those who are in our so-called private community, all right. So just go into our Zoom link. All right. So if you have not been like looking into it, fine. It's in our so-called community tab itself. All right, or else I'll just paste the link right here in our YouTube. All right, so if you can access it, means you have like our WealthPulse direct access. If you have not, you can just join our QR code right here, join our WealthPulse 1 month complimentary, and then we will see you right there. Okay. All right, so let me just share this link into YouTube. Okay, Scott Drake. September is cursed. All right, market feel jittery. All right, yep. So thanks everyone for joining in. I'll tune in to Zoom. So for those who are in our private community, I'll see you in Zoom, and then we'll talk about CrowdStrike. We'll talk about CrowdStrike. Okay. So thank you everyone. Uh, Thanks for joining us in our WealthPulse Live. Right. If you have missed from the beginning of sessions, not to worry. Just like, subscribe, and share this channel. You'll see our updates of this like video in a concise manner in our YouTube channel. So thanks everyone for joining. I'll see you next week, 8 p.m. YouTube Live. All right. So for those in Zoom, I'll see you in a short while. All right. Thank you, everyone. And I'll see you. Thanks for joining WealthPulse. Bye bye.